Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your NBA rundown of games. Yes, big games for Thursday, the 26th of February, just 3 days to the month. Let's finish strong. Don't forget, not only do we like these free picks, we give you a bunch of plays every day, but people always say, which one's your top play? Who should I bet the most? We tell you who to do that in our premium passes right here, docsports.com/Craig Arun. It's usually $99 for each one of us per sport per week. We got a deal for you. 2 for 1, get a week pass, just $99. So we'll both have plays in the NBA tonight, both have plays in college basketball. You get either one, or you can get them both. They're $99 per sport, though, and you get today's plays plus 6 more days. So make sure you choose either NBA or college basketball or both, only at this link. Okay, I see NBA kicking us off here. Charlotte Hornets, the red hat, 9-1 against the spread. Charlotte Hornets are favored by 12.5, total 230, facing the tanking Pacers. What do you like?
Yeah, one thing that we need to keep an eye on is the teams that want to win and the teams that really don't want to win, right? It sounds simple, but it's important. So Charlotte won, they're 28-31, Pacers 15-44. Pacers actually beat them twice this year already, 114-112 and 127-118. Charlotte, big back-to-back wins against Chicago and Washington. They're hitting their prime at the right spot, right? They also beat Atlanta at one point. They beat the Spurs. They beat Oklahoma City on the road. It's a team that can really cause some damage. They've won 7 out of the last 10. They desperately want to get to 500 just for at least morale reasons. It's a team that beat the snot out of Washington and Chicago by double digits on the road. I don't like that the Pacers lost. I've lost 4 in a row, and they've lost by 21 points to Philadelphia. But we got to keep this simple here. I think this is a team that wants to win. Indiana's still hurt. We don't know if Siakam's going to play, and Neesmith's already out, and Zubac is out. And as it comes to the injuries portion for Charlotte, they are pretty healthy across the board. I'm going to take the Hornets minus the 12.5. Craig, Miami here, 2.5-point dog against Philadelphia. Miami's an interesting team. They're 3 games above 500. Miami has won this game the last 5 times in a row. They won 127-117 back on November the 23rd. Miami lost to Milwaukee 117-128. They'd won their previous 3. Philadelphia off big back-to-back wins against Indiana and Minnesota. What do you think happens here with Philadelphia off back-to-back wins and Miami off of a big loss against Milwaukee?
Before I get to that, how about we do a contest? Just so we did in college basketball, we do a contest today. You get a free week pass if you're the closest. You pick the winner of this game and you the total number. So if you think the Sixers are going to win 100-99, you put Sixers 199. If you go, we use Price is Right rules. If you go over, you lose. So the closest to come without going over. All right, I'll make it easy. I don't trust the Sixers. I just don't get it. I don't understand when they're going to play Joel Embiid, when they're not. Yes, they beat a very good Minnesota team on the road 2 back. They beat the tanking Pacers, 2 days ago. But I like this Miami team. They're starting to come together. They did lose to a Milwaukee team that's been playing good. Before that, they had won 3 in a row. I like Miami here. I like Miami to get the win. I think the odds tell you they're a live underdog. I think they get the win, plus 2.5. Let's take it. Next game, Washington, Atlanta. Your Hawks have been playing solid basketball, but not as good as remember when Trae Young was still on this team and he was injured and how great they were playing. They're just under 500, still favored by 11.5 here against Washington, total 234. What do you like?
Yeah, Atlanta's still 2 games under 500. And the big thing was that, you had a player in Kuminga that came in and went 9 for 12, right? 27 points. He got out of that Golden State Warrior situation, and he absolutely balled out here for the Hawks, 27 points. They're going to have to make room for him somewhere in the lineup. McCollum only went 2 for 12 in that game, but Atlanta did win by 21 points, which is a great win. Washington, of course, just lost to this team 98-119. Do they step up? I think they can. I mean, Atlanta literally just beat this team 119-98, and that was the excitement of Kuminga, but they're going to make some adjustments here. Look, you also have Washington here who has Toronto in their next contest. I just think it's difficult for a team to lose by 20-plus points in back-to-back games, and they're going to be motivated coming in, and I'm going to take Washington plus 11.5. I think they have immediate revenge. I think they're going to focus here. Give me Washington plus the 11.5.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on all the great content we have here at Doc Sports.
Greg, Houston, 2.5-point chalk here against Orlando. Houston already beat this team 117-113 in overtime early this year. Big revenge opportunity for Orlando. Houston coming off nice back-to-back covers against Utah and Sacramento after a frustrating loss against the Knicks, where they got outscored 15-33 in the fourth quarter. Orlando, big back-to-back wins against the Clippers and the Lakers for that Los Angeles road trip there. They actually went 3-1 on this West Coast road trip in general, also beating the Kings and barely losing to Phoenix. What do you like here? You think Orlando gets their revenge, or you think Houston continues to roll here?
Well, Houston really should be 4-0 in the break. They were up in that game at the Knicks or against the Knicks and just couldn't close it out. I think they do so. They've covered their last 3 games straight. I think they go on the road here. Orlando probably wish they could just stay in LA and play LA teams the rest of their life because they swept the LA road trip there. I just think Orlando, they have limitations on offense, very similar to the Houston Rockets. The one thing the Houston Rockets have, a guy named Kevin Durant. Let's take Houston minus the small number. Next game, we have a good matchup. Spurs. Next game, we have Spurs at the Nets.
Don't edit that out. That's awesome. Don't edit
Spurs favored by 13.5, total 225. What do you like here?
Yeah, you might have glitched and saw that it might have been Spurs in Houston or something like that. But Spurs won 118-107 back on October the 26th. The question is, can the Nets step up here? Look, the Spurs have won 10+ in a row. I mean, they're just dominating right now. They didn't cover against Toronto, by the way. They had to come back to win that game. They had to outscore them 32-17 in the fourth quarter for a huge comeback and win. Toronto did cover. The Nets, of course, coming off a loss against Dallas, and they had lost 5 in a row coming in. I think what happens here, the Spurs play like such dog poop in their last game. And the fact that the Nets, coming off a loss against Dallas, 114-123, I think what's going to happen here is that the Spurs, I actually wanted to take the Nets originally, but I didn't think the Spurs were going to play this bad in the last game. I think the Spurs are going to be very focused coming into this game after playing so bad in the last game. By the way, the Spurs have not lost back-to-back covers in quite some time as well. They haven't lost back-to-back covers since early January. Give me the Spurs. I hate to do it, but give me the Spurs minus the 13.5. I'm going to lay it just because they played so bad in the last game that it took a monumental fourth quarter for them to win. I think they're going to play much better this game. So I'm going against what I typically like to do, which is to take the dog here in this situation. But give me the Spurs minus the 13.5. Craig, Portland minus 4-point chalk against Chicago. Chicago won 122-121 last time out. They beat them by 1 point. Portland, of course, 28-31. They're trying their best to get into the playoffs. Barely lost to Minnesota, 121-124. Did beat Phoenix, did beat Utah, beat Minnesota, or did beat Philadelphia, Memphis twice. Chicago, of course, has now continued to lose on this massive losing streak they have. They are 24-35, but don't let it fool you. They have now lost 10 in a row. Craig, what do you like here? The surprising thing is Portland's only a 4-point chalk against a team that's lost 10 in a row, but who do you like?
Well, Portland hasn't been world beaters either, so it's not like Portland has been great. I will say they are getting healthier, and as that has happened, they've obviously played better. Close loss at home, 3 points. They did cover to Minnesota. I think this is a really good spot for Portland to get right, and they're not going to overlook a Bulls team when, Portland's trying to get above 500. The 3 games below 500, they've kind of been hovering there for way too long. I think Portland goes on the road. They don't let up against a Chicago team that continues 11 straight after this one. Next game, Sacramento and Dallas. Dallas minus 7, total 233.5. Boy, these are bad teams. 2-8 the last 10 for Dallas straight up, and Sacramento 1-9 straight up. What do you like?
Mavs won 198 last time out, right? Back on January the 6th, Sacramento, of course, losing 97-128 against Houston in the last contest. They've only won 1 out of their last 10 games. Just so bad. We knew that the Kings are going to struggle probably against the Rockets because they'd beaten them twice in a row, so the Rockets took it to them, and the Kings are coming off a win too. And you have a Dallas team that won 198 last time. Dallas has also won back-to-back games against Indiana and Brooklyn. I don't know how Dallas is going to handle success, to be honest with you. I love the fact that the Kings got absolutely torched in their last game. It was a contest where they had about, 10 guys in the box score. I'm going to surprise you here. I'm going to take the Kings plus the 7 here. I think they come off an ugly, ugly loss. I do not trust Dallas at all after back-to-back wins here. Dallas is not really that interested in winning anyway. I could easily see the Kings stepping up here. Lakers minus 5-point chalk against Phoenix, Craig. They're favored by 69% of the public. Phoenix beat them 132-108 last time, and the Lakers won the time before, and Phoenix won the time before that. Phoenix, of course, comes off back-to-back losses too. What's interesting about Phoenix, though, is they've only scored 77 and 81 points in their last 2 games as they got routed. Who do you like here? Both these teams off back-to-back losses.
Yeah, what a season they were having until Dillon Brooks and Booker went down here the last couple games, and they have not looked good. The offense is really struggling. Facing a Lakers team that I still just don't understand what they're doing. Like, JJ Redick is just over his head, or these guys just aren't listening, one or the other. Take the under in this matchup. I do think the Lakers win and cover, but I don't trust the Lakers. So I trust the under much more. The Suns can't score. They have to play to their defense. And I think it's a low score odds or total for a reason, under 218. Next game, we got 2 games left. Pelicans and the Jazz. Pelicans favored by 4.5, total 240. Pelicans, you know, they got a nice win last time out against Golden State. Not time before that, they beat Philly 2 in a row. Can they beat up on a Jazz team that's lost 3 in a row?
Because the Pelicans are 17-42, and this is a team that I think has shown some life recently. They beat Golden State, they beat Philadelphia. They're not looking to necessarily tank. It does seem like they beat Sacramento and Minnesota. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is they are 17-42, but they're also 4-2 out of their last 6. Just depends on how you look at it. New Orleans did beat Golden State and Philadelphia, and I want you to take a look at who they played. I mean, they played Zion, they played Bay and Jones and Murray. I mean, this team is healthy now, right? I mean, they got Murray and Jones and Bay. Now we're getting a look at what this team could be like. Actually a pretty good team right now. Utah rolls in, having lost 3 in a row as well, losing to Houston, Memphis, and Portland. But Utah, look who Utah is trotting out there. I mean, they still got Filipowski, Markkanen, and company, and yet they still find themselves as a 4.5 point dog. Regardless of Markkanen plays or not, I still like the Pelicans minus the 4.5. All right, Craig, last game here. Minnesota, 5.5 point chalk against our Clippers here. Clippers won 115-96 back on February the 8th earlier this month. Minnesota looking to avenge that. They won't be like here.
Well, before we get to that, don't forget, if you want to get in our 2-for-1 pass right here, DocSports.com/Craig, we're going to get 7 days of our NBA plays. We both like plays today, and I got a big play on Friday as well. So probably like a 4-unit on Thursday, 7-unit on Friday. So make sure you take it out. You get all of those plays for 1 week right here at this link. The only way to get us both. Let's go. I like the Clippers here. I do. The Clippers I thought would be in tank mode since trading James Harden. They really have not. They have played pretty well, and they have fought really to the end of the games. I thought we'd see a lot of Kawhi Leonard resting, you know, like healthy scratches. But they lost by 2 against Orlando. They lost by 3 against the Lakers. They stayed right in those games. And they beat Denver to kick off the second half. If they play like that, they'll win this game. But I'm getting 5.5. Yes, thank you. Give me the Clippers plus the 5.5. All right, don't forget, check out that 2-for-1 deal right here at this link. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Good luck.